Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips MLB preview show for today, the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to any of my American viewers out there. We had a crap day yesterday. Both tips lost. We are 50 points up on the year. There's a lot of plays today. I did post on Twitter about an hour and a half ago the first play, because as I'm recording this, there's less than 10 minutes till the Washington game does start. It's been a hectic day. I'm going to go quick fire due to the lack of time, and I'm going to dive straight in. The Colorado Rockies against the San Francisco Giants today. Colorado starter Tyler Anderson has made 4 good starts, and a lack of runs has meant he remains winless. Against Jake Peavy, who has been much improved recently, the Rockies' left-handed bats that do hit for power could have some success. The Giants lineup is seriously banged up and very left-handed, which is not going to help them against a young left-hander in Anderson that has already performed well. Colorado minus 1.5 for 4 points at 3.25 for Bet365. St. Louis. The St. Louis Cardinals, fresh off of sweeping the Brewers, welcome the Pittsburgh Pirates into town. The Pirates have had to travel from the West Coast across multiple time zones on an already quick turnaround for this game. John Neese has an ERA north of 8 in his last 4 for Pittsburgh. The Cardinals will send Carlos Martinez to the hill, who has a 0.64 ERA in his last 4 and a record of success at Busch Stadium. We'll put 7 points on the Cardinals, minus 1.5 for Bet365 today. The New York Mets and the Miami Marlins. Tom Kohler of the Marlins has allowed 8 runs in the first inning across his last 2 starts. Matt Harvey opposes and has pitched well with a lack of run support. Now, having played Sunday Night Baseball and then having to travel to New York for this game, the short turnaround could have an effect on the Marlins. There is also the potential for a letdown after playing what was a game of significant historical importance on the military base, which they won last night. So, as I say, I'm looking for a letdown there as well. The Mets come in fresh off sweeping the Cubs, scoring an awful lot of runs yesterday in the 4, and they scored plenty over the 4 games as well. The offense is scoring runs. That's a bad sign for the Mets. For the Marlins, I will take the Mets minus 1.5 at 2.25 for 4 points for Bet365, and I will buy the New York Mets first innings performance at 9 for 1 point with Sporting Index as well. The Arizona Diamondbacks will host the San Diego Padres today. Archie Bradley will pitch for the Snakes. He's been very, very good lately. The Diamondbacks don't win often at home. They did win a home series against the Friars earlier this year. The Padres offense has returned to its normal levels after elevated play the latter part of June, which did include a series at Coors Field, which does help. Luis Perdomo, the Padres hurler, has been homer prone, allowing 9 in his last 29 innings. The Snakes do have plenty of power, led at the moment by Jake Lamb. I will take 6 points on the Arizona Diamondbacks minus 1.5 at 2.40 with Bet365. And I'm going to chuck a couple of points on Jake Lamb to hit a home run and the Snakes to win the game at 13-2 with Paddy Power. The Toronto Blue Jays host the Kansas City Royals today. Volquez in the regular season is winless against Toronto in 6 tries. He did shut them down in the playoffs last year though, but the regular season ERA is 6.46. He has an ERA north of 5 on the road this year. Toronto appear to have recovered from the 19th inning marathon on Friday against Cleveland and are scoring lots of runs. Aaron Sanchez pitches for the Jays today. He went 4-0 with a 2.62 ERA in 6 June starts. I will have 5 points on Toronto minus 1.5 at 2.05 with Bet365. The Houston Astros will host the Seattle Mariners. Wade Miley will pitch today for Seattle. He has delivered for us in the market we're going to play today before. Despite having looked better since his return from the disabled list, I'm willing to take a shot on the Houston Astros, who have some hot hitters at the top of their lineup to batter Miley in the first inning, whereas the ERA is approaching 10 this year, and I will buy the Houston Astros first inning performance at 10 for 1 point. The Washington Nationals game, which by the time you're watching this will have started. Milwaukee suffered from a rain delay yesterday in St. Louis, meaning they had less than 15 hours following the completion of that game to warm down after the game, travel to the airport, fly to Washington, get to a hotel, sleep, wake up, get to the game, warm up and start the game. That's a really quick turnaround, particularly coming off of a sweep by the Cardinals. Washington have Max Scherzer on the hill today. Now, he struggled in Milwaukee 2 starts ago, but he's still gone 4-2 with a 2.61 ERA in his last 7 starts, has a solid record in day games. Washington scored 12 while beating the Reds yesterday. Junior Guerra looks like a regression waiting to happen according to the metrics I look at. Washington have the power to make that happen. I will take Washington minus 2.5 for 4 points at 2.50 with Bet365. And the final game for today is the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs come into their home field at Wrigley today, having been swept in 4 by the Mets. The Reds were annihilated yesterday by the Nationals. They lost that series. Kyle Hendricks will pitch for the Cubs. He's been outstanding at home this year, 4-1, sub-2 ERA in 7 starts. Cody Reed goes against the Cubs for a second time after allowing 7 earned runs in the Cubs' 9-2 win last week. Look for the Cubs to get the train back on the rails today and celebrate the holidays in style. We'll take the Cubs -2.5 for 5 points at 2.30 and -5.5 for 2 points at 5.75. I have 5 points on the 2.5 line. Don't know if I said that wrong. Happy 4th of July holidays to my American viewers. Happy normal day to the rest of my viewers around Europe. Best of luck if you're having a play on those today, and I will see you tomorrow. Play ball.